Okay. Hello,
Welcome back.
everyone. Welcome back.
It's a Revitalized podcast.
Podcast.
It's a Revitalized podcast. My name is Justyn.
And I'm Elle.
And today, we're going to talk about families getting healthy.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful?
Who doesn't want a healthy family?
Who doesn't want to talk about
If you don't want a
that?
healthy family, you're kind of weird.
Yeah, that
Let's
is
be honest.
actually very strange. We love
Very
families
strange.
getting better and healthier and
Very
happier.
strange.
That's kind of part of the whole purpose of being alive too.
That's right.
It's just us becoming better people, and that starts with your family.
Exactly.
It starts with you, and then essentially your family too.
Yep. You all heard happy wife, happy life. Healthy wife, healthy family, healthy life. It works.
All right, well, let's jump into it.
All right, so we got some news topics today. We got some stories to cover. We got some stuff on family health to cover. We got some stuff on men's health to cover. Some stuff on women's health to cover.
Yes, that's right.
And then we got the question game at the end. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Got our co-host Drew. Say hi, Drew. Everyone's excited to hear your voice. Your lovely,
hello,
lovely,
everybody.
Beautiful voice. Okay, first thing on the docket, we're talking about some stuff came across our desk. Some doctors talking about some important things. Our kids are super like the most important people on earth are children, the ones that need to be protected, the ones that need to be taken care of,
and we need to keep a watchful eye over how healthy they are, obviously, and then just the direction of general child health.
That's right.
The way it's going, and we have to pay attention to these things. And so talking about, the new information that's coming out is really, really, really important.
Well, and just making sure that there's open dialogue and conversations about it so that our parents can be empowered to actually have an option, have a choice. Because, one thing we talk about a lot in the academy, to ourselves, with the team, with clients and stuff, is like, if people don't know what their options are, their choices are very limited. And if you only know of one possible thing to do, if you only have one way out, like, that's not really free will, because you only have one choice to make. Like, you can't choose between one or the other. There's only one path to go down. And so we truly believe that education and community is so important for that, because we get new ideas, we get new perspectives. It opens up our minds and helps us think critically about different things, and we're not just locked into one path that we might not like. And so one thing we want to pull up real quick is Maha. They did a panel with several doctors. I think this was, Drew, when was this? What month did they do this?
This was in September 2025.
Yeah, okay, so September last year, so pretty recent. And they had a panel of a bunch of these doctors, and they were all talking about a bunch of things related to autism. And one of the doctors said something that really grabbed our attention, because it's something that we've been talking about for a long, long time. And so we wanted to pull it up. We have a clip we're going to share. It's pretty exciting. We're happy about it. And then we're going to chat about it a little bit, just to, again, spread some of these new ideas, help us realize what we can do, because like there's always an option when it comes to improving our health. It doesn't matter if it's a genetic thing, if it's an acute thing, a chronic thing. It doesn't matter if it's an old person thing, a young person thing, a man thing, a woman thing, a black thing, a white thing. Doesn't matter. We can improve. Our bodies are so incredible. As long as your heart's still beating, it's not over. And so it doesn't matter what label somebody has. There's no reason, like none, zero, why we should ever just settle for whatever that label says our life is going to be. We can always get better. We can always improve. You lose a limb, you can learn how to walk with crutches. You can get a super awesome wheelchair. Just trick that thing out with chrome and bling, and you can have like the spinning wheels on the sides of it. Like things can be way better than terrible, no matter how terrible the situation is, right? Okay, so I'm ranting here. I'm gonna shut up. Drew, you got the video? Can you pull it up, buddy? Let's hear what these guys got to say.
Okay, why doesn't everybody get autism?
That's a good question.
Schedule, no problem. Well, there are a couple of reasons. You can point to the fact that the nurses weren't shaking up the vials with the mercury in it, and some kids got larger doses. That's a risk. You can actually look at the fact that there's a cohort of kids that got aluminum and mercury containing vaccines combined.
That is hilarious. Here,
so
give
if
me
you guys
2
didn't know,
seconds.
we're in Quebec. That's why they were speaking that interesting
and also,
language.
we have been trying to get the technical stuff sorted out for this podcast for probably the last 45 minutes. and we finally thought we got it done, and now literally on stream.
No,
gives
I
us a
think
new
I
problem.
think that was beautiful, actually.
Everything was perfect until that moment, and it honestly made it even more perfect.
That's
That was
hilarious.
fantastic.
All right.
I'm gonna roll it back 10 seconds. To
Yeah,
start.
sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds good.
All right.
That's a risk. You can actually look at the fact that there's a cohort of kids that got aluminum and mercury containing vaccines combined. But if you look up the paper, autism is an acquired cellular detoxification deficiency syndrome. I actually tested the hypothesis that these kids are not able to detox as well as other kids, plain and simple. And we birthed them, we brought them into and are raising them in an increasingly toxic world.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad that I think we would have had an autism epidemic eventually, finding the same families, the same genetic lineages of people who happen to not be able to detoxify as well as others, even if vaccines were never invented.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's such a curveball to where the conversation is going with autism these days.
Like what parents have been told for
Mhm.
years and years too.
Yeah.
And now they're finally having a lot more topics, a lot more
an
options
alternative
being
idea.
presented to the table,
Mhm.
which is really important because, you know,
And I honestly, I would have to agree with everything that guy's saying.
yeah.
We've been talking about detoxing and the reason to detox and all the reasons to detox and why detoxing is so important for pretty much as long as I could speak English personally. I mean, this is something my dad was into for a long time. And it's just one more thing here that we're seeing is, okay, it goes back to one of the main things, detox. I mean, so for example, every single person, like we all have one brain, one heart, we got two eyes, we got one mouth, we all have these different parts, right? I mean, I hope most of you watching have two eyes. If you're missing an eye, I apologize. I don't mean to call you out like that. Anyways, every single person has multiple detoxification systems, multiple detox pathways. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, up to 12, depending on how you want to categorize them. And our hearts are pretty important. Our brains are pretty important, but we all have multiple systems to detox. We have multiple systems to detox physical waste, liquid waste, gas waste, and our cells' ability to detox is so important because that's the main thing that we're trying to get to. It's not just having a clean colon. It's not just having a healthy liver. It's having a clean colon, having a healthy liver so you can have healthy cells. And so what this gentleman here is bringing up, the idea that people with autism, kids and adults both, part of that equation is their body's inability or more difficult ability to cleanse and to detox. And I mean, if you understand the way that the body works when it's cleaner versus when it's more toxic, when it's at a better pH versus when it's more acidic, when it's more nourished versus when it's more in a deficit, you understand that when we throw curveballs, when we throw anomalies, when we throw toxins, poisons, metals, viruses, chemicals, when we throw deficiencies, it just makes everything go into a bit of a haywire situation. Like your body cannot communicate with itself. We see autoimmune issues develop a lot of the time. We see genetic issues develop a lot of the time. We see issues with pregnancy develop a lot of the time, not because a person was born broken, just because we threw a wrench in the gears and the thing's not running smooth.
Yeah.
And if we can pull the wrench out, it makes everything run a lot smoother. Helps a lot.
One example of this that might be helpful to understand what that gentleman was saying too is the MTHFR gene. And so basically they are people who have a little bit more trouble with detoxing.
Right.
And so they have to live a certain way with their life to make sure that they are, you know, their bodies are cleaner. And really that just means like a slightly more upscale, a slightly more consistent you know, lifestyle in terms of all the healthy things that we need to do, at least generally speaking. And so when it comes to what we're learning more and more anecdotally, what we're learning more and more in studies and what physicians are coming out and sharing, like this gentleman here in this panel, is that they're saying that there's a way where, you know, there can be not as many problems, perhaps, around autism, not as many complications, perhaps, around autism, not as much, lack of connection around autism. And, even leading up to the actual diagnosis itself, there's many people. The reason why a lot of families like have mentioned it before, like, oh, my kid got this, and then I think that's why he has autism. And, again, it's because they saw their kid one moment be happy and speaking with them and always having eye contact. And then the next moment, like a week later after having the injection, they saw that automatically change. And so it's been very apparent for many parents that there's something else going on.
I think they did I forget who did this poll, but I saw something like in the last 2 weeks, and they were saying that up to 70% of parents with autistic children accredit that to some vaccine issue. So like there's got to be something there, and
large percentage.
And the reason we wanted to bring this up is because a lot of the time, if you blame a vaccine for autism, you're instantly labeled an anti-vaxxer or an anti-science or anti-whatever. But what this guy was bringing up is that even without vaccines, he believes we would still have some kind of autism epidemic.
Yeah.
And now you could argue it might not be as bad. You could argue it might not have happened for a much longer time. But either way, at the core fundamental issue is that it's not the needle that's the problem. Whether you believe that it's a vaccine that caused a child to get harmed or not, it's not the needle itself. It's the ingredients, it's the chemicals, it's the metals, it's these crazy things that mess with our genetics, that mess with the way that our brain works, that mess with our immune system, that could cause all this confusion and all that kind of stuff. That's the issue. And whether that's from a vaccine, or if it's from a pill, or if it's from a plant, or if it's from a construction site, however those metals get in, we know that metals in the brain don't really work too well.
No.
And so if the brain had the ability to detox and cleanse out those metals, regardless of wherever they came from, we'd see things improve. Because like if the metals were part of the cause and we take part of that cause out, then part of the problem would get better, right? Like just 1 + 1 = 2. If you fall over and you hit yourself, the fall caused a bruise, you don't have a bruise disease, right? And if we stop falling over and we stop getting hit, we get less bruises. Like it's just that simple. So if we can get to root causes, root issues, which we know that one of the main 3 that cause illness is toxicity, is toxemia. Heavy metals can absolutely be a form of toxins to the body. They can be poisonous to the body, especially if they get in the brain, especially if they get in a very young developing brain. So wherever those are coming from, it doesn't really matter. The source isn't the issue. It's the ingredients that are causing these problems. And the solution, whether we've gotten an injection or whether we haven't, on either scenario, a body that is better at cleaning itself, cells that are more efficient at detoxing, organs that are more efficient at detoxing, a lifestyle that promotes more detoxification, more natural detoxification in your body, is universally going to be better for everybody.
Yes.
Whether we have whatever label, a head label, a gut label, a genetic label, a young label, old label, it doesn't matter. And so, again, just one of the things that we've talked about a lot, not so much for autism. That's been something that's kind of been a bit newer in our career, and from our experience, I mean, we've seen communication come back. We've seen being able to write come back. We've seen emotional control come back.
Yeah, anger problems go down by even up to 90%, as reported by some parents or a parent.
Exactly. And the things that we've seen with our own eyes and the people that we know physically, a huge fundamental part of every one of these protocols and plans and things that these people have done that we've worked with and clients we've got, it's just detox is so critically important to that. Nutrition's a really, really important part. Exercise is a really important part. Sleep's a really important part. Hormones are a really important part. But a body that is cleaner, even if we don't change the diet, even if we don't move anymore, even if our sleep stays the exact same, if you are poisoned and nothing else changes other than the poison gets removed, you're going to feel a lot better. Things are going to work a lot better.
Yeah.
Our organs and our cells and everything in our body is going to have a much easier time doing what it's naturally trying to do because there isn't poison in there. It's causing tons and tons of problems.
Yeah. And look, again, this doesn't mean that your life has to be this whole 180 experience where everything around you. You know, it's almost like a different version of, you know, a bubble person, you know, where instead of it just being everything sanitized, it's like, oh, everything is holistic and I can't even look at plastic or anything like this. And look, that's why I was mentioning, you know, having a more consistent lifestyle, right? With even different hereditary situations. There's going to be situations that are out of your control, and there's going to be situations that are in your control. But the reality is like the most important thing to focus on is focus on what is in your control, right?
Exactly. What
Because
can we
you
do
can't-
now? What can we do
Yes.
tomorrow? Not what do we wish we could have done 6 years ago.
Yeah, because you can't change what happened.
Right.
Right. But there is something you can do today. There are
Exactly.
things that you can start implementing today. And, you know, even if they only help a little bit,
Mhm.
that's a lot better than no improvement whatsoever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, moral of the story, detoxification, super, super, super important
Yeah.
for adults and for kids alike, for people with easy problems and even super, super complex problems like autism, like late onset Alzheimer's, like diabetes, like organ failure, like old age. I mean, it's important for everybody and every problem. Our bodies need to be clean. That's critical. That's critical. Drew, I think we got another story about farming. Speaking of things being clean,
Yes.
one thing that has really not been super clean
Yeah.
is the way that we've grown our food over
Mhm.
this last century. I think there's definitely been some dirty things done.
Yeah.
Dirty things literally, because we're talking about dirt, but also dirty things industrially, dirty things behind the scenes,
Yeah.
dirty things for the sake of money, not for the sake of the people.
Yeah. Just overall unclean, you know, like methods against
Yep.
the soil,
Exactly.
against nature. And then
Exactly.
because our bodies are literally from nature itself. So if you mess with nature and then we consume that nature or around that nature, it's not gonna be a good combination.
That's right.
No.
And you know, so we've been seeing a ton of stuff go around lately about how organic food's not any better than conventional food. And there's no point in going to your local farmer's market because of this reason and that reason and this reason. And the chemicals are the same and the profile's the same and organic just a
Mhm.
marketing thing. And like, again, context is important. So
Yeah.
we're going to go into one thing that is absolutely a real solution for a big part of our food problem. So, okay, we got an article here. Drew, can you scroll back up just so people can see the title again? Just real quick. So this is, I believe this is from the Royal Agricultural Society of England. If I got the pronunciation on that wrong, pardon me. I'm not British.
England is how you pronounce it.
I could just sound like I'm British. Anyways, this article is regeneratively farmed food more nutritious? Okay, that's what these guys are highlighting here, and they asked some good questions. They did some good tests, and I think they got a good little piece of evidence for that argument. Okay, so if we scroll down a little bit more, if you guys at home, you can read the whole article if you want to. We'll have the link for this in the show notes after the video is posted.
Yeah.
But right here, okay. So first and foremost, basically what they did is there was a guy named David Montgomery, and he was speaking to a panel. I believe it was on a webinar. And they were talking about how they ran this test. And basically what they did was they had pairs of neighboring regenerative and conventional farms, with each pair having the same soil type and growing the same crops. The regenerative farms had all been practicing regenerative agriculture for between 5 and 10 years. So we're talking like between a decade at most and half a decade. One thing to keep in mind that's really important, baby, does regenerative farming get better and better and better over time? Or does it get worse and worse and worse over time? Or does it stay about the same?
It gets better and better and better.
It gets better over time. So if we're seeing these kinds of results in 5 years and 10 years, that just begs the question, what would happen to these farms as they continue to regenerate their farms?
Exactly.
And they continue to perform these practices, and the soil gets healthier and healthier and healthier, and the microbes get healthier and healthier and healthier, and the plants get healthier and healthier and healthier. What would it be like if we were to get food from a farm that's been growing for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years? And for all of you folks in agriculture or who know people in agriculture or have been in farming or anything like that, you know, like 5 years is not that long. 5 years is not a very long time to totally change the soil around. I mean, we have friends and people that we know that have started regenerative farming practices on land that was like totally barren. Just you couldn't really grow much on it at all using conventional methods. And over time, you can heal the soil. You can bring things back to normal. So if we can bring that article up one more time, there's just one little thing I wanted to highlight here. I think it's like the second paragraph down. So after they explain what they did, the results showed that regenerative farms had on average twice as much soil organic matter and 3 times the soil health score. How did they figure this out? They based it on measuring the microbial activity.
Yeah.
A little handful of dirt
Mm-hmm.
has more bacteria than our entire bodies, and our entire bodies has a lot of bacteria, like a ridiculous amount of bacteria. So for a little handful of dirt to have more than that, that's crazy. We're talking numbers that like a calculator can't even get up to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they based this score off of microbial activity, and they compared that to their conventional neighbors. And again, these guys were neighbors. They were very close together. It's not like we're talking, a farm in a very remote part of the world that isn't exposed to chemicals. The air is the same. The water source is the same. The geography of the land is probably pretty similar if they're neighbors, that kind of thing. And when the produce was tested, the levels of phytochemicals such as carotenoids, phenolitics, and phytosterols were approximately 20% higher in regeneratively produced crops. Vitamins K, C, E, and B1 were also measured, and the regeneratively produced crops showed that levels were on average about 30% higher than the conventionally produced neighbors. Again, this is within 5 to 10 years. So within 5 to 10 years, we can get vitamins and we can get phytochemicals up by 20 to 30% in our crops. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talk out there these days about how terrible glyphosate is and how horrible all of our industrial practices are and how the world's going to hell in a handbag. And we got this Netflix documentary and that Prime documentary, and you got to go carnivore, you got to go vegan, you got to go vegetarian, you got to save the animals, you got to kill all the animals.
It's very doom and gloom.
Everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone's complaining about how expensive everything is, and nobody seems to be able to afford all of it. And this right here, this could be, if people will actually get on board with it, regenerative farming could be a way that we can save things. We can turn the clock back. We can go back to the way things used to be before we started to pump over 80,000 different kinds of chemicals that we know of, which, by the way, there's a lot that we don't even test for, into our atmosphere, into our soil, into our water, into our animals, into our crops, into our livestock. I mean, it's just wild. But just like with the autism, just like with any issue, any label, any health thing that you guys can come up with, doesn't matter. If the heart is still beating, if there's blood still pumping through your veins, your body can heal, at least heal more than where you're at now. If the soil is still brown, if dirt's still brown, if dirt's still dirt, dirt can be made healthier dirt.
Yeah.
There's always a way. And that's really why we like to highlight these kinds of stories and bring up things like this. Just first of all, for awareness, to help you guys like understand that there's things out there, that there are solutions out there, that there's new ideas that you haven't thought of, there's new things you haven't heard of. And not just that, but in a world with everything being so flippin' negative, I mean, you can have the coolest thing ever and somebody's going to find a way to complain about it. It's always nice to know that good things still happen. The world's still beautiful. The sun will still rise tomorrow, right? I mean, I don't know. Is that making any sense, Drew? Is there anything that we missed in there?
No, I think that made a lot of sense. I think that we can probably go on to the questions now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds good. Okay. So we got some family questions, and then I think we got some public questions after that. Am I getting that right?
Yep. I think you guys got a couple questions for yourselves, and then I will finish it off with a few questions from our amazing fans who I will name later, but I will say now that it's going to be a game for everybody that's watching. I'm going to say a name and a place of the fan that wrote in. But just so you know, I'm not lying. It's 100% a made-up person from Pulp Fiction. So please look for clues as to who I'm talking about, and it'll be a game for you guys while they're answering the question.
That's right. And if you figure out who this fan is, this mystery fan, if you get the reference, just comment it down below. Let us know, and you maybe beat me. Because so far I have not been very good at this. I think I'm rocking like maybe 1 out of 3. I'm not sure. It's not been good. I got to step up my
what's even funnier. Yeah, I just said. So I meant to say pulp culture. I said Pulp Fiction, which is a pulp culture reference to something else. So nothing I'm going to be saying is about Pulp Fiction. It's all going to be about pop culture.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Okay, baby, ladies first. So what do families need to know? What kind of questions do we need to be asking each other? The hormone thing?
Yeah, I just
not answer that right. Did I go off script?
All right. So, sorry. What kind of questions do we need to be asking? We could be asking ourselves a lot of different questions, but the question that I have for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No, it's just
what do you mean?
you led me in a different direction.
Oh, my bad. My bad, people.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm just messing up the show.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that men have about menstruation?
Oh, the biggest misconception that men have about menstruation. Probably that it's just you should expect the chaos, like whatever's gonna happen.
Oh my God.
Okay, I just mean every guy has heard horror stories about how terrible and horrible it is to deal with a woman when her hormones are all out of whack. Some of those might be true. Most of those are embellished. And I'm just here to say to any young man listening, as a fella who has ka-chow, been married for a while, it doesn't have to be that way. Like literally, I'll start by saying this, then I'll answer your question. The only reason why I know when you're on your period is because I know to pay attention to it with you. That's pretty much it.
You said it's because I tell you.
Well, yeah, and I'm actively paying attention to it because I know how important it is for your health. And like there's like a couple days where you get a little bit more tired and your energy's a bit lower, and maybe you want to take a nap or something like that. But like there's no like all the stories that we hear as young guys growing up and being like, oh man, whew, you better watch out. There's gonna be stuff flying in your kitchen. There's gonna be baseball bats just shooting right for your head. You're not gonna be able to win a single argument. You're gonna be wrong every time.
Is that what you were told as a young lad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. What do you mean? Watch any movie, watch any family show.
That's from movies, but is that what you were directly told?
Oh, of
you
course.
Expected,
absolutely.
You expected crazy?
Absolutely. Anytime that you talk about getting married as a young man, any dude who's between like 30 and 50 years old or older, and he's already married, he just gives you this whole song and dance about how like, oh, it's the old ball and chain. You're gonna be in prison for life. Like guys, we're at a point in culture now where people have got this idea that it's so normal that you're going to be so miserable in marriage that you have to have a bachelor party and it's your one excuse to have some random chick you've never met before strip down and give you a show. Like, how does that make sense? That's crazy. But people justify that because of all these terrible stories they've heard about how horrible marriages and how boring marriages and how you're going to be stuck with the same person for the rest of your life and blah, 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 blah.
You're going in like such a different direction.
I know. But anyway, so
but what was your reaction when you first knew that when you were first around me during my menstruation? Like
it was a super pleasant, awesome surprise. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did that affect
that's what I'm
you,
saying.
like, emotionally?
It gave me a ton of security.
Okay.
Knowing that I made the right choice and knowing that my life was going to be freaking awesome. I'll tell you that much. But no. So that's what I was saying though. Just that like one of the only reasons why I know that when you're on your period is because it's something we pay attention to. And like I said, maybe your energy gets a little bit lower. And you want to take a nap or something like that. And you
prepare for in case there could be any chaos one day.
Yeah, but like there's no conversations I have to plan around your period. There's no questions I need to ask you. There's no like tiptoeing around the house. There's no like, guys, better watch out. Don't make Elle frazzled. She's gonna act crazy. Like, this doesn't happen. You're in total control of your emotions every day of the month. You're kind, you're sweet, you're loving, you take care of me. I mean, like there's just nothing there. So I think the biggest misconception is just that it's going to be a thing that you have to deal with. It's going to be a problem you're going to have to face every month over and over and over again. Her hormones are going to be all out of whack. She's not going to be able to control herself. She's going to say mean things and ask for weird snacks and get you to do everything around the house. And your life is going to be just nothing but work for 4 days straight and just absolute total patience. And you got to be the perfect guy no matter what's going on. Otherwise it's going to be a giant problem and you're going to get an earful. Like, that's just not true. That's the case when your lady's body is just not healthy like it should be, and she has to fight to be in control of her hormones. My lady doesn't have to fight to be in control of her hormones. She just is in control.
Yeah,
and that's one of those things that health can get you. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, and that's very great for a marriage.
Yeah,
for sure.
Friggin' awesome.
And for having like a healthier family. So that'd be the wife.
That's right. So for any of you men that got some ladies with challenging menstrual cycles where like it's not even that, like, even if they don't want to, like if they just get a little moody, get a little emotional, get a little angry, get a little frustrated, get a little irritable, or just a lot of fellas, I'm telling you, man to man, like, don't give up hope. It's not over. You just need to help her. Like, that's it. Help her get healthy and she will make your life the best thing ever. Like it's a very easy trade. It's a no-brainer. That was probably a longer answer than we were expecting.
I was
But
a
anyways,
little curious because I wasn't like like I just wasn't expecting the answer. You get prepared for the chaos. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, okay.
yeah. Okay, that's probably
Right.
not how I should have said
No.
it.
I think that's a fair thing that maybe some men can kind of understand because sometimes it can be really bad, you know.
I mean, I know there's ladies watching, but I'm talking to my boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to you guys.
All right.
I got you.
All right. Okay. What kind of questions should you be asking me about the family?
What's the biggest misconception about men's emotions and men's hormones that women don't really get?
About men's hormones.
Yeah. Like not our cycles because we don't have cycles, but like our mood,
You're
our
gonna
emotions.
you're gonna have to answer that one, I think. Yeah.
I answered your question.
You're gonna have to answer that one.
Okay,
let me know what you think, and then I'll go from there.
That's cheating.
No,
that's I'm not falling for it. That's a trap.
You have to go into that one. Yeah.
Okay, what's a misconception about men's feelings or about men's emotions that women don't really get?
Okay.
I had to think about my answers.
I would. Okay. All right. Right off the cuff, completely.
That's right.
Yeah. No, it is off the cuff completely. You asked a completely different question than I expected.
I know.
Whatsoever.
I got to keep her on her toes, guys.
For your hormones, probably not realizing how much having lower testosterone can affect. That would be probably the biggest thing.
I would completely agree.
For sure.
That is something, honestly, and it's not any lady's fault. Mm-hmm. I think personally, from just the couples we've worked with and just where people are at, and like especially our generation.
Yeah.
Just like men, it goes both ways. Just like men, I think women are pretty naive to how important the hormone health is to the man's personality and his mood and his drive and his everything. Baby, you're totally right.
The way that I would compare it is like if a woman was dealing with infertility.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously lower testosterone is connected to infertility anyways, unfortunately. Yep. And so just how important that is for a man literally being a man is obviously very important. And so to have that.
Oh, sorry. No, you go on. I got excited.
Have that so low, and I kind of hate to make. No, I don't want to make that point, but just men who have lower testosterone, I would say that they have higher mental health issues. That is something that has been actually correlated.
Absolutely. And now it can go the other way. If the testosterone goes way too high, I mean, that can cause some problems too.
For sure.
But that's a lot rarer than
so I would
lower.
Say that
it's way harder to get too much.
You know, knowing where your husband or your partner or whatever, where his testosterone levels are, I think that'd be very, very important for women to be aware about. Just like how men being more aware of the challenges that we could be facing with menstruation or different parts of our cycle and how that can affect our mood or the way we, just influence how it can influence the way we think or feel or speak or something like this, or even attraction. And it's really, really, really unfortunate that it's not talked about enough. But, we need to know what's going on with men, because a lot of young men nowadays, they don't have their testosterone in the place that it needs to be. And so if we were aware of that, if we knew that, then we would know how to really, speak to him better, how to encourage him better, right? Because maybe your man, maybe if he seems really strong and sturdy, like emotionally and stuff, maybe he's really hurting inside because, his testosterone is lower and he just doesn't feel like himself. He doesn't feel strong. He doesn't feel capable. And as we all know, if we don't feel like we can do something, if we don't feel capable and strong, then we're not going to really see ourselves do it. Yeah. And then sometimes that can be translated to those around these men that, oh, you're just lazy, or, oh, you just don't care. And that's can be
I honestly, I think there's a direct correlation between healthy testosterone levels and willpower and drive.
Yeah.
I think that's been pretty established
100%.
forever. but not even just from science, just from common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if your testosterone is super low, changing a tire in the middle of summer when there's not a problem in the world, you got cool breeze and you got all the tools you need, like that's very hard for a guy with really low testosterone. So if any of you ladies are out there, or you men in general, like if you're just not seeing the drive, the manliness, the protectiveness, the guardianship, the motivation, the wisdom that you're looking for, it's not just because he's a screw up. A lot of it can just be because on the inside, his machine, his vehicle, his body is just not fueled like it should be. And so, you know, you can put a NASCAR, Ferrari, F1 race driver behind a wheel. That made me sound like I'm completely uneducated when it comes to cars at all. I know those are different things. Okay. I just had to get that out there. I could just see Drew's eyes rolling in the back of his head, being like, oh, he didn't watch the F1 documentary. What a nerd. Anyways, you could put the best driver in the world behind the best car ever. You take the fuel out of the engine, like that thing's not going nowhere. And so, you know, for our bodies to perform, for our minds to perform, because they're in our bodies, we got to make sure the insides are all tuned up. You got to make sure that you're properly balanced.
Yeah.
As all things should be.
Absolutely. It's very important. And then emotionally, and just one last thing with the testosterone thing is usually their peak is in the morning. They work more so off of a 24-hour cycle when it comes to their testosterone. And so if you want them to do something that's maybe more difficult, more on the inconvenient side, then pick the morning. But knowing their levels is something really important. You can even start with, if you aren't able to get your hands on you know, maybe the finances, or, you know, for to do a proper test or something like this, what you can do is at least check into the symptoms of it. That wouldn't be something too difficult to do. And just really, really assess, really communicate with your partner about that. Because sometimes, you know, with a lack of maybe him not feeling that way, of, again, like Justyn mentioned, the protectiveness and everything like this, again, it can be seen as like, oh my gosh, you're someone who doesn't care. And it's sometimes like, you know, women can get nasty when we don't see that, because a man not being protective is something very abnormal. It's something very strange. It's something very out of place, and it's very unnatural.
Exactly.
And men are not supposed to have low testosterone levels. So the reality that we're having young men have low testosterone levels is evidence of the pollution around us.
Yep. It's just as crazy that it's normal for every woman to have a painful cycle and to just be miserable the whole time. The cramping, the bloating, the energy, like that should not be. Like, that's not normal. It's normal to have a cycle. It's very healthy to have a cycle. Not normal for it to be painful and feels like you're in prison for 4 days.
Yeah.
Trapped in your own body. Like, that's
when
not
we're talking
normal
like that degree of like, yeah, that's something that is not normal, and it's not the way it should be. And there's always a reason for something, right?
Yep.
You know, just like with the low testosterone thing, maybe that's the situation, and maybe that's why he's not, you know, as protective as he'd like to be, or at least, and at the end of the day, it just makes it a little bit more challenging for him to fit into very big shoes, because that just comes with being a man, of course. And then on the emotional side, that you guys play hard to get when it comes to the conversation around your feelings.
What?
And
No.
we have to get
men talk about their feelings all the time.
Better at asking you specific questions, because you want to talk about your feelings, or you want to take the chance to talk about your feelings, but we need to dig it out of you. And sometimes that can be almost annoying, but it's important to be very patient. And you've definitely gotten better over the years, for sure.
Yeah.
But
well, I just, as I've learned how to trust, it's become a lot easier.
Well, as I earned your trust too, you know, I have to earn your trust, and you have to learn how to trust. But, you know, still part of having that communication is so important for a marriage and for a friendship, for anything, right? Because I'm going to see things in you that you may not know how to acknowledge, because you haven't been taught how to acknowledge it.
That's true.
Doesn't mean that you're not strong, doesn't mean that you're not smart or anything like this, but we've been taught how to, you know, talk about our feelings and
Yep.
sometimes even work through those feelings.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that you got to give women credit for throughout their whole lives. Is much more natural for you guys to communicate about stuff, even if like worst case scenario, even if the conversation goes absolutely nowhere and it's just gossip for gossip's sake, at least you're in the habit of talking. And that's one thing that men really struggle with, mostly because it's super hard for us in general to find someone that we can trust enough to talk and not have the fear of judgment or the fear of ridicule, the fear of it being spread somewhere else and that kind of thing, or just the fear of like the person you're communicating with seeing you differently. Like that genuinely was like a concern of mine, like we all hear it, most guys do. Like, oh, if you cry in front of your girlfriend, she instantly loses respect for you. You cry in front of your wife, she instantly loses respect for you. That's true if she does not see you rise up afterward. If she sees you cry, if she sees you break, if she sees you fall, if she sees you make a big mistake, and then you stay there and you wallow in that, anybody is going to lose a little bit of respect for that person, whether you want to or not. That's just the way that people are. But if she sees you have a hard day and you give her the opportunity to love on you and comfort you and give you a shoulder to lean on, and you be supported in that way emotionally for a change, and then she sees you take all that and do something good with it, and you fix the problem and you go back to battle and you get the thing done, whatever it was, and you rise up and you conquer the thing and you save the family and you're just like the hero of the day, that builds lasting respect. That builds respect that you don't got to question. That builds respect and trust that you don't have to second guess when you're not there. But that only comes with the right person. I mean, if you're just like that with everybody, if you're just, crying about everything all the time in front of a group of people, you're probably not going to get the kind of respect and admiration that you're looking for. And vice versa. If you ladies are just going out there spreading all your secrets to the world, like it's going to get out. People are going to, people that you did not want to know that thing is going to find out about that thing.
And, just people can use it against you, right? So trust has to be earned.
But that's one of the most cool things about family and marriage is that you have these groups, these people, this woman, this man, these kids, these parents that are around you. And if family's done right, it's the strongest force in the flipping universe. Like there's nothing that can beat it. No safer place for you, no safer place for your heart, for your kids, for your dreams and your aspirations than a healthy marriage and a stable home. I mean, like nothing could beat that.
For sure.
Okay, well, those were two longer answers than I think both of us were planning on delivering, but at least in this case, I'm not the only one that was long-winded. That was good. We're growing on.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. My first question actually does kind of tie into what you guys were already talking about.
Beautiful.
So
we're always on schedule.
Exactly. So Lando from England is asking, what is the earliest sign of declining male testosterone?
Ooh,
that's a really good answer.
Yeah,
I see. Whoa, question. That's a really good question. So
you were thinking about your answer, and you're
right.
I got it.
I would actually say even fatigue. And disinterest.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah. Just in general, not fatigue like he's just tired and he's drained because he had a long day.
Yeah, it's like
just
like
overall
mental fatigue, general kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. Just overall a low vibe, low drive. It's harder than it should be to get you excited about stuff.
Yeah, harder to get.
You're just like, meh. Yeah. I guess I could. I should. I wish.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
Harder to stay off your phone. Like those kind of general things.
Exactly. That would definitely, that'd be probably the first, and eventually it becomes the biggest as well.
Because it
just grows and compounds and gets worse and worse and worse.
Because one of the reasons too is there's a physiological aspect to it, and then there's also a habitual part to it too. So the more a person does that, even if it started off more of because it just the chemistry going on in your body, right?
Yep.
You create that habit, and then because that habit can be addictive, right? So not necessarily just entertainment, but with getting to the habit of not doing hard things. If anyone does that, regardless of where their chemistry is at, they're going to get out of the habit of doing hard things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that was a good answer. Lando.
I was going to say that's a great answer. And it actually ties into my next question. So this is Maria from Russia. She's writing in saying, what daily 10-minute habit can produce the biggest long-term impact in her health?
What
Ooh.
10-minute daily habit can produce the biggest impact?
Walking outside.
Yeah.
For 10
That's
minutes,
you're
for
gonna
10
have a
minutes,
hard time beating
yeah.
that. One
Yeah.
thing you can do, you pair that with good healthy breathing. Bring an extra liter of water with you. Do it after your biggest meal of the day.
Have it on.
You're gonna
like,
get a lot of
yeah.
layers there. I mean,
Yeah,
we're talking
just being, especially if you're like near a forest or
Yep.
something like that, like some
Yep.
nature.
fresh air,
Yeah.
better breathing, getting your heart rate up,
Mhm.
circulating your lymphatic system, stimulating your calf muscles, which is helpful for circulatory stuff as well.
Mhm.
De-stressing, just getting a change of scenery, so
Yeah.
you're out of the house and you're not thinking about whatever was
Mhm.
going on before.
Yeah,
Especially if
you're relieving your eyes of
Mhm.
like the eye strain,
Getting
from maybe
natural
working on the
light.
computer.
if you
Yeah.
pair it with helping to digest after a big meal,
Yeah.
it's also going to improve nutrition, going to improve that improves everything.
It's gonna improve your mood. You're getting in some negative ions from like the nature around you, and you can hear the sounds and stuff, which are really great for regulating your nervous system. So hearing the birds chirp and
Yep.
the chipmunks scatter, and like the leaves, and the branches break underneath your feet, and like the wind, moving, like all like blowing through the trees, right? Like all of these things, they're very good at communicating that you're safe.
Yeah.
And that you're sound. And
Yeah,
so
that's walking.
yeah,
That's brilliant.
walking outside.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, 10-minute outside walk.
Mhm.
That covers so much ground.
Yeah. I see what you did there. It's just easier because this desk is a little. Anyways.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Was that a good answer?
Yeah, I think that was a great answer. We only have one more question.
Okay.
Is coming in from Veronica from California. She is wondering, how many times does your heart beat in 1 year?
How many times did your heart beat in 1 year? I don't know, but I got a calculator. I can figure that out.
Okay. So
She doesn't know either, but she's just looking for guesses.
okay.
31,536,000 times. If you're doing 60 beats a minute.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not a bad guess.
It totally depends. Yeah, just like the variations of that, right? Like how it'll go up, how it'll go down, of course.
Yeah, every single person will definitely be different. It says
the
average.
I forgot a thing. It's actually it's 1,892,160,000 beats per year.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
Can you actually fact check this to see if I got anywhere close?
Yeah,
Just
how many beats do you think per day?
Per day?
How many beats per day?
For some reason, I don't want to give I was thinking around
5,184,000.
So we're way off now.
Okay, way off. Like too high or too low?
Way too high.
Yeah. I was thinking that actually. Is it in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands?
Hundreds
of thousands.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna just say 126,000.
That's a good guess.
I'm just giving a guess.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
60 beats a minute times 60 minutes an hour times 24 hours.
Yeah. What's your guess?
I think you're probably pretty close, honey.
Okay.
I think you're pretty close.
What is it?
Yeah, the answer is 100,000 per day, which would then equal 40 million per year.
Okay.
40 million a year. Okay.
40 million. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
billion. I
was-
added an extra time.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
All right, perfect. That was the last question that I had.
Okay. Kate, can you give us the fans again? I want to see if we can guess any of them real quick before we jump.
Okay, the fans again were Lando from England.
Lando from England.
Lando.
The only Lando I know from is from Star Wars.
it's
He's
like
not from England.
Land of England. No, we're supposed to guess a character.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a fictional person or a
It's
person.
not. It's
from-
actually a real person.
Okay,
It's
a real person.
Like a
Lando-
real person we know.
Lando from England.
Land of England.
He is
Land
very famous.
of England. Land of England.
No, it's supposed to be a person.
Oh, right, a person. Never mind.
I have no idea. If anybody gets that in the comments, go for it.
Yeah, you're
And-
never
and
gonna
let
get
us
it.
know,
I'll tell you
please.
right after the stream, and you're gonna laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Maria from Russia.
Is that like Mother Russia?
Nope.
The concept? No, Maria
Nope.
from Russia.
If
Maria?
100 people watch it, there'll be a handful of people that understand both of those for sure.
Okay. Maria from Russia.
Extremely, extremely famous people.
I don't know that many famous people, I'm gonna be honest. Are you sure these are people like we would know?
I'm
Oh.
not
I
sure if you
should?
guys would, but you
Okay.
should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
if anybody in the comments can help us figure this out,
Okay.
that's gonna be bugging me all day long.
Because I
Lando
feel
from
like
England, Maria from
yeah.
Russia. Oh, Veronica from California. Is that Veronica Mars?
Yeah, it is. Veronica
Nice.
Mars.
See, told
Yeah,
you. 1 out of
beautiful.
3. Sorry, that was too hard.
By
1 out of 3.
By far the least popular of the 3.
What?
Okay, all right. That's okay. You can tell us after.
That's
We'll,
crazy.
like as soon as you'll say it, we'll be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
Okay,
Of
well,
course.
if anybody's watching this and you guys get that, let us know, please. Write in the comments below. If you enjoyed the episode, let us know that too. You can write that in the comments below. We love to hear your feedback. If you guys got some suggestions how we can make the show better, criticism how we make the show better, let us know that also. We love that kind of stuff. If you got some help from today, maybe you laughed a little bit, maybe you got a cool idea, maybe you learned a little something, maybe you got reminded of something a little bit important, or if you just enjoyed hanging out and spending some time with us, then give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, share it with a friend that you think would also enjoy this as well. That really helps us to get the show out there and reach more people. What is so funny?
When we did the clap, you hit me in the face.
Did I? Oh, I'm
That was
sorry,
so
baby.
funny.
I'm sorry.
So
So don't do that. Listen to what we say, not always what we do. Don't hit your wives. That's like the most
Mhm.
important tip of the whole
definitely
episode.
do not do that.
No, don't hit your wives. Do love your kids. Do love your wife, and make sure that they're very, very healthy. Do love your husband also, because we have ladies that watch too.
Yes.
Love your kids. Love your siblings. Love your friends. Love your neighbors.
And love God.
Even love your enemies.
Mm-hmm.